Let's talk about something that will make or break a lot of your networking efforts. And I see so many mistakes being made just on this one thing, where you can be the man, you can be an incredible conversationalist, you can be jacked, you can be handsome, you can be successful, you can even have money, you can be influential, but if you mess this up, you're way behind, even before you utter a single word. What I'm talking about is your presentation, how you put yourself together when you're going out there. And when I say out there, I mean that in the broadest possible sense. Out there can be really out there, in the real world, talking to people, but it's also this, talking to you in a video, going on a conference call. All of those things come with your first impression. Whenever I get questions about this, I'm pretty happy, because usually the question doesn't even come up. People aren't even aware of how they look out there, which is weird. First thing that you have to understand is that the way that you present yourself is the way that people see you. If you show up in a AC/DC t-shirt and some jeans and work boots, that's how you're seen. Now, maybe you want to have that image. I don't know. Maybe you want to send that out into the world. And if you're trying to make it in hard rock, it could work. I don't know. Not a hard rock expert. But if you're trying to be serious, if you're trying to build connections, if you want to get ahead in the world, it makes a lot more sense to pay attention to the way you present yourself to the world. So, as a rule of thumb, if you're going to err on one side or the other of overdressing and underdressing, you always err on overdressing. Now, you don't go over the top, like you don't show up at the pool in your three-piece suit. You probably won't go to a bar in a tuxedo. That doesn't make much sense. But then you're like levels above what is required. But if you're unsure, strive to be either the sharpest dressed guy or one of the sharpest dressed guys. Don't be the dude that walks around in a t-shirt when others are walking around in a suit. With the internet as it is now, there is unlimited material available on how to look good without spending enormous amounts of money on clothing. You don't need a $4,000 designer t-shirt to look good. You just need it to fit well. And that brings me to my second point. People notice if you're in shape or not. If you're in shape, things get easier. So obviously, go to the gym, work out. This is fully within your control. There's no excuse for being fat. If you're fat and you're hearing this and you're insulted that I'm calling you fat, it means that you're not okay with being fat, which is great. No one is okay with you being fat. So get rid of that fat. Eat less, exercise more. All this information is available. But get to the gym. Get moving. You need it. Being fat is very similar to being underdressed. Yes, people will talk to you if you show up. Yes, you can compensate with other stuff. But you're at a disadvantage. You're making it harder for yourself. And you're doing it without any good reason. Don't put yourself at a disadvantage. Give yourself every advantage you can get. So, dress up. Don't be fat. Preferably be jacked. Now, the third thing that comes up whenever we talk about this subject is people asking me, do I need like a Rolex? Do I need to wear my Patek Philippe or a $20,000 watch? Do I need a flashy dress shirt? Do I need to wear like a custom-made suit, completely bespoke, created out of the wool of New Zealand sheep that were herded by a shepherd that only lives in a volcano, so their wool is even more soft than regular New Zealand sheep wool? And the answer is no. The bar is so low these days that if you wear a dress shirt that fits well, which shouldn't be too hard to do, you're going to be ahead of the vast majority of your competitors in almost any social network that you're trying to stand out in. Now, you combine it with a sports coat. You don't even need a diamond watch. In fact, if anything, I'd probably leave out the watch. I mean, unless you own it, which is great, and I congratulate you for it, but don't try to flex when there's nothing you can really flex with. Don't just buy a watch just to own a watch. I rarely wear a watch. don't wear much jewelry myself. I do just fine. The guiding principle for all of this stuff is that you're not trying to be flashy. You're trying to be tasteful. You're not trying to stand out in a bad way. You're not trying to scream out loud when you get in whatever venue you are in, or when you're, let's say you open the Zoom call and here you are with a purple suit and a bright neon green shirt and a top hat with a bunny sitting in it. Now, you're certainly going to make an impression. Absolutely. People will remember you. That's going to be cool. But they won't remember you for the right reasons. They will remember you for the wrong reasons. It's simply, you could just as well cut some holes in a trash bag and wear that, and they'll remember you as well. It's great. Way cheaper as well. Don't have to find a neon green shirt and everything. Just, trash bag, holes, you're done. People will remember you. Being remembered for your outlandish style isn't necessarily the aim that you want to go for. If you want people to remember you, probably best to have them remember you for great conversation, for being an impressive guy, for connecting them to other people, for paying attention, for being a good listener. All of those things, right? For adding value, that's what you want to be remembered for. You don't want to be remembered for your flashy, outlandish sense of style. So when in doubt, err on the side of being tasteful, not extravagant. It worked for Madonna and Lady Gaga and Prince, etc. That's absolutely fine. Probably not for you, man. Unless you're at a drag show or something. Well, then you can go all out. But that's not my specialty. I don't know too much about that. And the last point that I want to make is that it's good to pick up a basic sense of etiquette. Again, with the internet the way it is, you can find all of this stuff easily. How do you behave in a restaurant? How do you hold your drink? How do you pour a glass? How do you deal with waiters? All of those things are very high ROI pieces of knowledge. Maybe you'll use them a couple times a year. Depends on the circles you mingle in. Maybe you won't even use them for the next 3 years. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you know how to behave in certain social situations. Basic etiquette. Or as the French say, etiquette. You need to know this stuff. You hold the door for a woman. Open car doors. As a man, these are things that make you stand out in the best possible way. And it's not hard to learn. It's not a lot. You don't have to go overboard, but just the bare minimum, the basics, showing that you are someone that not only puts some time and effort in the way he's presenting himself, in his body, in his style choices, but also just the way he moves through the world. It's very important. People judge you constantly. They judge you by looking at you, and they judge you by your behavior. Simple social graces, being aware of what you should and shouldn't do, extremely important. Don't mess that up. I've been in these situations many times before. I've seen people mess up, and it's noticeable. And it's not like you're getting cast out like some leper, but it's just something you notice. You realize, hey, that doesn't really add up. He doesn't know that. So basic etiquette. So to recap, style matters. You want to overdress. Usually, if you err on any side, overdress. Don't stand out. Don't be too flashy or extreme or bizarre. And learn some basic rules of etiquette. Oh, and number 5, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, you will be cursed with bad luck for the rest of your days. And all of your romantic partners will develop bad body odor within 2 weeks of being with you. So, like and subscribe.